Good morning. Matthew chapter 21, verse 22. If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer. Such a simple verse, but one with so much meaning and promise. For me, it translates that God is asking me to believe, to trust in Him, to have faith, and if I do, He will answer my prayers. There's no guarantee when it will happen or that it will be exactly what I prayed for, but I have faith that it will be exactly what I need. I am continually in awe of how God works in my life, how He transforms my prayers into actions, and how He pushes me past the boundaries that I've set for myself. What is required of me is to submit to His will and accept the path He's chosen for me. Standing here is totally outside my comfort zone. The only thing that terrifies me more than public speaking is falling in the deep end of a swimming pool, because I can't swim. But this wasn't my choice. This is the work of the Holy Spirit. When Pastor first talked about the adult public confession at council, I had a knot in my stomach until I heard him say that it was totally voluntary. I felt like I was off the hook, but it didn't take long for God to start planting the seed for me to participate. Almost immediately, a thought popped into my head. You can do this. My quick response was, no, I can't. Then he started waking me up in the middle of the night. Thoughts and ideas would run through my head, and there was no way to turn it off or fall back to sleep. I would fight it until morning, then I'd get up and start putting my thoughts on paper. It was a long process, but here I am. When I was younger, I couldn't comprehend when people would claim to be led by the Holy Spirit, or that the Holy Spirit guided them through a certain situation. I didn't think I ever experienced the Holy Spirit guiding me, but when I reflect back, I realize that there were many times when God was watching over me and sent the Holy Spirit to keep me safe. I was just too self-absorbed and stubborn to see that. At this point in my life, I am aware of God guiding me, and each day I try my best to listen, but I'm not perfect, and my need to control sometimes gets in the way. When this happens, I step back and listen to my heart. I don't give up because God doesn't give up on me. I didn't grow up in the Lutheran faith. I was raised by my grandparents. My grandmother was a Presbyterian Sunday school teacher. So each week, we attended Sunday school and church service. We sometimes went to prayer meeting on Wednesday evening. I went to youth group on Friday nights and choir practice every Saturday morning. So I guess you could say I grew up in a church environment. Unfortunately, it didn't carry over into my home life. Even though my grandmother was a positive influence on me, I didn't receive the support I needed from other family members. I went through the motions, but I never really made the connection. Once I was old enough to make my own decisions, I quit going to church. When I say that, it seems so final. But as you can see, God had other plans for me. When people refer to a situation as being just a coincidence, I'm quick to point out that I don't believe in a coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. When I met Larry, I hadn't attended church in a very long time. I always felt like something was missing. Remember that positive influence from my grandmother. I wasn't where I was supposed to be, but I didn't know where that was. I had tried to visit other churches over the years, but nothing felt right. So I never went back. My life had been a series of ups and downs, like one of Larry's roller coaster rides. When he finally invited me to his church, to this church, I felt like something clicked. It wasn't long before Manual became my church home. I feel like this was God's plan for me all along. I've been working on this message since August. It didn't come easy, and there were many times when I felt like it wasn't meant to be. Maybe that was God's way of telling me I was on the wrong track. So I would stop, take a break, and wait for his direction. The words would come again, but in his time, not mine, and I would be back on track. Submitting to the will of God and giving up control is the most difficult thing I have ever done, and continues to be my challenge every day. Jesus suffered and died on the cross so that my sins could be forgiven. That sacrifice was made for me and for you. How does one respond to that? By God's grace, I want to be a strong, kind, loving person for my family, my friends, and anyone else that may cross my path. I want my thoughts, words, and actions to be pleasing in His sight. And I want to wake up each day thanking God for all my blessings, all the opportunities He's given me, and all the wonderful people He's placed in my life. Thank you.